Gypsies and travellers are the people who rarely find a welcome.
He calls us stinking pikeys, stinking gypsies.
He will just go like that, chippos, like that.
If we had anywhere else to go, we wouldn't be here.
Across Wales, they need more sites. But where will they go?
I go to a door and say, what do you think? We don't want to bug us here.
How has life changed for the travellers we met 21 years ago?
Hello, hello, hello.
Pleased to meet you, Tim.
Can I come in?
Yes, please, come in.
Thank you.
A new law might mean councils being prosecuted if they don't build new sites. But what about the neighbours?
It's the mess that's left behind and the thieving that goes on there.
Us painting everyone with Malcolm with the same brush.
No, I'm
Not
saying
all travellers are like that.
This is home for the McDonough family. A roadside on a business park in Swansea. They have no toilets, water or electricity.
We don't want to be here, like, we want to get a base for us. All we want is a base. We need something we can call home.
They've been camped here for 18 months and 3 of Bernard's 5 children go to local schools.
And when the kids come back from school, do you need to use the toilet? I got to bring them to the Burger King or KFC. Showers, then I got to bring them to the A.F.C in Swansea, all this crack. But well, you can see here, we keep the place tidy as we can. With 5 kids coming in here, every evening got to be swept up, kept tidy. We put our litter into those bags here, take it to the tip every evening.
But neighbouring businesses have had enough, and they want the council to evict them.
We're told they're not going to be there long, but we've been told that before. We invite numerous high-profile clients to our flagship head office premises. The first thing that they see and notice is the fact that we're flanked by some gypsy caravans.
The family has been using the company's water supply, and Dorners have caught other unwanted guests on camera.
We've had horses tethered here, both in this particular patch, and more recently around the back here. There's no horses here today, but tomorrow there may well be.
The McDonoughs say the horses belong to other travellers.
We respect their culture, but at the same time, they need to be living somewhere else.
If this family has moved on, they say they'll have to park illegally somewhere else in Swansea. And that's because the council doesn't have an official site for them to go to. But it is spending money trying to evict them and others from around the city. Across Wales, there's a demand now for hundreds of new pitches, and the row about where to put them is getting louder. By law, councils are expected to try to provide gypsy and traveller sites where there's a need. Gilheaney is a town which has been earmarked by Swansea Council for one of 5 new possible sites.
This is Park Mealy Market.
Yeah.
And you see the sign there?
Yes.
Malcolm Curtis is a town councillor, and until last month, he was the local mayor.
I go to a door and say, what do you think? We don't want to bug us here. That's what we get. And that's it. There's nothing more to be said. We just don't want them here. They've caused enough trouble in the past.
Malcolm doesn't speak for everyone in this town, but he showed me why he says some people don't want gypsies and travellers here.
The site in general is well used by the local public.
For what? For what
purpose? We have our Steadfords here.
Yeah.
The show people come here 3-4 times a year. Oh, it's a beautiful area.
Malcolm says people haven't forgotten the travellers who parked illegally here more than 20 years ago.
The theft last time they were down here in the shops in the high street, right? And the mess left after them. I mean, I'm not saying the new travellers come in here. I'm not going to say it's them. I can't say that, because I'm going back 20-odd years now.
But you don't want them here, do you?
The public don't want them here.
We asked some of the locals what they think.
Personally, I think as a travellers, they should be travelling and shouldn't actually be, part of a community which is trying to make something of itself. We're on the rise. We've got Asda's coming to Gilheaney, and we're all trying to make everything look nicer, and we're just really worried about something that's going to, you know, be a bit of an eyesore.
But the council thinks some of this park or land that was set aside for a cemetery might be just the place.
Once people know there's a gypsy site, or traveller site as they call it, isn't it, is close by, I think that it would definitely affect the price of houses. Because if I was buying, I'd think twice.
I'm all for give people a chance and then see what happens. You know, love your neighbour. And who is my neighbour?
They've got certain rituals, they do a lot of fighting, and they do have the attitude that you're not allowed near their land.
Malcolm has never visited the city's only official site, so we asked him if he'd like the opportunity.
What do you think you know about them and their life?
Well, I don't know much, I'll be honest with you, right? That's all I know. They come over from Ireland. They're mostly Irish thinkers. I bet you 90% of them got houses in Ireland. Right? They go back over to Ireland and then come back over, fast back and back. Lay a bit of tar here, mark here and there, paving slabs, and that's it. And that's the way they work. Right? And people are getting fed up with it. And if they want a permanent site, have a permanent house. That's my argument, and that's what the people of Gilheaney think.
So is the law wrong?
The law is on us. As has been often said.
So the law says they're entitled to have their own pitch, their own site. It's just wrong.
It is, yes. If they want a permanent site, as I said, have a permanent house, full stop.
This is Swansea Council's only official gypsy and traveller site. With 7 pitches, it's home to the Gilheaney family. They like it, but they say it's not big enough.
Well, there's all my brothers and sisters and all living on here. It's fantastic on here, but the city do need a new site. We have everything we need, but we could do a bit more space. In here now, you got the conservatory at the front. That's your kitchen, your sitting area where you eat and things like that. Then you got a shower, bathroom, toilet facilities.
Jimmy and his wife have 8 children.
We've no intention of leaving this site. We are quite happy where we are. But obviously in time to come, when the big children grows up, they might need more space. They might need a different site.
Jimmy earns a living as a scrap collector. He's worried that the row over where to put the new site is fueling anti-gypsy and traveller sentiment.
You can be driving like through a street and you can salute someone and they will just go like that, chippos, like that. This is how it is every day in around Swansea. It's unbelievable. They paint everyone with the same brush. Excuse my pun, like jippos, they don't pay taxes, they get things for nothing. You know what I mean? We pay our way. You know what I mean? But like, obviously, a small minority probably don't pay their way, but the same in the settler community. I imagine that they would think that a gypsy's home would be very filthy and dirty and smelly. And as you can see, it's not the case. We use this as a kitchen. We used the camper home as a bedroom. And I've got kids living there, and I've got kids next door as well living in another caravan, because we can't fit all the caravans on one plot.
Families who stay here pay rent and council tax, but Jimmy is worried that wherever the new site is built, there could be a backlash.
They're out with picketing boards, protesting this, that and the other. That was a black person or black people moving into an area, and they were out protesting like that. What would be said then? Is it because that they're gypsies that it's okay to do that?
The two sides have agreed to meet.
I'm prepared to listen to him. Obviously, I'll listen to his points and I'll try and educate him, try and enlighten him.
For 20 years, Welsh councils have been obliged to try to provide sites, but some have none at all. Today, 400 new pitches are needed for around 1,200 caravans in Wales. For dozens of gypsies in Newport, there's never been an official site. They all live rent-free on unauthorised pitches. But that's about to change.
Father, I thank you for today, Lord. I thank you for everyone here. We know that you can do miracles, and by faith, we believe in you.
This gypsy family is praying for a better future. They've been illegally camped on Welsh Government land for more than a year. The Price family may have been welcomed by a local church, but others in the city aren't so keen.
About 2 days ago, come to the gate, these stinking gypsies. He calls us stinking pikeys, stinking gypsies, get back where you come from, and all that. If we had anywhere else to go, we wouldn't be here.
This might be their next home. There are plans to site up to 120 caravans here. The gypsies like the idea, but it hasn't gone down well in the community.
Anyone you talk to, they definitely want to stop it. If you're living in the posher part, I think they're concerned it's makes their area look a bit low.
Well, I don't see why everybody can't get along, you know. I mean, they got to settle somewhere.
I'm not saying they're all that bad, but I suppose they all just get tarred with the same brush.
They live under pylons, but there's no mains electricity. They pay £25 a week for a toilet, and there's one tap for up to 35 adults and children.
We don't have a shower, we have a wash and a bowl. It's quite hard. What we need on this side is toilets for each home, each family on here. We need proper water, we could do it electric, we don't mind paying for it, and just somewhere really settled.
Chantal lives here with her 3 children, her parents and a large extended family. They're being tolerated here until the council builds a new site. Chantal's brother says rats are another problem.
And all along that fence there, all them holes you see along the bottom of that fence, that's the rat runs. I mean, see the backs of these, there's holes in the back, in the fence in the back of these to put the gas pipes and that through. You've got to block them up to stop them getting in. That's how bad the rats is on here.
Chantal thinks these conditions are making her children ill.
She has diarrhea and sickness, and most of the time they're burning up and comes out with a rash, but we don't know where that comes from. We take them to the doctors and it says it's viral infections, everything.
Life would be easier in a house, but Chantal is a gypsy, and she wants the right to follow her tradition and live the caravan life.
I sleep over there, do my kitchen there, there's my dinette to sit and all that. Watch telly in the bedroom. That's it mostly. Been in the house before, when I get decorated, then I'm a gypsy and I'm used to being a gypsy. When I get decorated, I want to go.
The new site is planned opposite the Pyle family's home. They moved in 6 months ago.
The main reason we moved to this house was the rural location. It's absolutely beautiful. It's very, very peaceful, very quiet, safe for the children. There's virtually no traffic on the lane. It's just perfect, really.
Carly Pyle says they've invested everything in their home. Now they're worried they might have made a big mistake.
My house is just situated just by here. I've literally just walked 5 yards across, and just behind this hedgerow here is where the site is proposed to be. So as you can see, it's very, very close to my house, and actually from my bedroom window, I will be looking onto the site.
Protesters want the council to sell the land for new homes and for the money to be spent on local schools. But after a long search, the council thinks that this is the best place to site travellers. Gypsy rights worker Tom Hendry is visiting Chantal. He's also a gypsy who grew up on illegal sites in Newport.
This is the pressure on it, yeah. So you can't hose down the trailers or nothing. So they've cut off all the pressure.
He knows only too well how much gypsies in Newport need an official site.
It's like proposing something, because you've got to propose something, because it makes you sound better. Do something about it, because these people have nowhere to go.
The row over where to put sites has